Hello, you're listening to the Eric McKenna Project.
All those characters I did on DVD, they didn't work in Cleveland. We could talk about that if you want.
Yeah. So before we get into everything, though, you know, I have patiently sat through COVID, patiently, because the commission was done long time ago.
I can't remember that. I don't remember what I'm talking about. So I'm going to plead the fifth.
You have my art with you today, right?
You know what, Eric?
Here we go.
Eric, I'm glad.
Here we go.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't have art, but I brought you this Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I don't really have the art. No, you know what? Greeks may be late and they take a lot of time. There's a thing called Greek time. You familiar with that?
No.
Greek time.
Greek time.
Yeah.
I know when you don't know something, you say it's all Greek to me.
It's all Greek. This is very similar. This is like if I say, hey, give me a time. Say, Tom, show up.
Show up at 11 o'clock.
I'll get there by 11:30, 11:45. That's Greek time. So then you're like, oh, he's on Greek time. So then you start going, I got to tell Tom to be there at 10:30, so it gets there at 11. So you start to compensate, and Greek time is a half hour to an hour. It's really rude. Greeks can be rude.
Yes, you have shown me that in your humor, sir.
Yeah, okay. I do apologize. But today, it has been Greek time, but just like the Trojan horse, I'm a Greek bearing gifts.
You are.
But it isn't really a gift because you paid for this.
I did.
You commissioned
it. But I wanted it.
Yeah, because you wanted it. And this was...
then COVID hit.
Then COVID hit hard.
Yeah.
And this is your family. Yeah. This is you, and you said, do what you want.
Of course.
And
I wanted a Megalis original.
Yeah, and I said...
You wanted some direction, so I gave you some direction.
You gave me some direction, and I know about you a little bit with your real estate, your podcasting, your love of the A's, right? Mm-hmm. See, what else? You like...
rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Guitars.
So I took all that in like a little Greek sponge. Greeks like sponges. We dive for them. So I sucked it in, and then did some drawings. Yeah. That's how I work, right? I showed you kind of.
Very cool. Yes.
Showed you the drawings.
Oh, yeah.
And then I started building this thing, and I have it with me.
Yes.
So, okay, hold on. Here it is.
Waiting for this.
All right. Okay. So it's on wood.
Original.
It's on wood. Here it is.
Look at that, man.
Yeah. It's as you can see, it's you and the guitars and your kids, but it's borderline abstract, you know.
Yeah.
And then you got your A's hat.
Yeah, I see that.
And then what's the nickname for the A's?
The Athletics.
The Athletics? Is that it? That's a real
Call them the A's.
The A's.
Yeah.
And then
so cool.
Real estate. So that's. I hope you like it, man.
Dude.
I hope you like
this.
It's
the craziness in my mind. I said he may go this direction, that direction. It's way over the top.
It's made out of wood, so you can't. So it's earthquake
3D.
proof.
It's got that big texture to it.
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
For people that are listening to this, you've described it, but you can see it, right? Can you see that on the video? Somewhere there it is.
Yeah. Multiple cameras.
Multiple cameras. This is
Dude, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, man. So put it over there, wherever you put it. That's somehow it's going to go.
I'm just going to hold it the whole show.
I think it's going to go. I think the next step after I leave, I drive off and then you just see it tossed into the trash. I drive off.
Are you high? No.
Are you high, man?
No. Next time you come, you're going to see it in here.
Look at the light on it now.
It's in here. It's going in here.
See how the light hits it now? You can see the more of the detail.
And so everybody knows, I also own another piece of Tom's work, which is my neighboring suite. It's in my business studio. Yeah, that gets a lot of amazing comments.
Really?
By the way. Yeah, a lot of amazing comments.
Hey, listen, man. Eric, listen. You know, all frivolity aside,
this is off the hook here, buddy.
I'm glad to have done it. Thank you for supporting the Megalis art. TomMegalis.com for those people that are listening and watching. I do commit. Look at me. I'm shamelessly promoting.
That's totally fine.
There it is. It's broken. That's it.
Oh, it's broken.
But I do commission work. I do, all kinds of stuff.
I could spend like a half an hour just looking at this thing because
it's got a lot
can't
of stuff
see it
in it,
all.
man.
Yeah, you
It's
can't see it
packed.
all.
It's a pack full of some art shit.
I got 2 Megalis originals now.
Hey, listen, Eric. Keep if people keep buying the art and it'll be collected, then hopefully you'll be able to cash in and retire. That's what I'm hoping for.
There you go.
See, if it turns your investment, that's a terrible thing to say. You're never supposed to say art's an investment.
You're not supposed to say real estate's an investment either.
You're not?
No.
Oh.
No.
That's a fallacy then, because people say it's your investment.
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Oh,
Think about it. It's like people selling life insurance. You can't say life insurance is an investment. You may show cash value going crazy for this 25-year-old person in year 40.
Yeah.
But is that guaranteed?
No. So what would be a real estate investment then?
I guess the theory of investing in real estate for residual benefits and rental income and all that stuff. But again, there's so many variables. I mean, we are not. Permitted's a tough word. We're discouraged from throwing the
word investment
around.
Same with art. You're not supposed to do it.
Right.
But I will say this, as an artist, and I don't know if a lot of artists think this way, but there are some pieces that I've sold in the past. There, one in particular, I won't mention the person, but it's a Pittsburgher who bought this piece of art. Someone said, "Hey, I like that piece on your website." I go, "Well, it's already sold." And it was a commission. And they emailed me again, and not a Pittsburgh guy, another guy is out like Nashville area.
Right.
And he said, "Hey, what's up?" And I go, "Listen, I can do one like that for you, but that one isn't." And he kept pushing, and he actually threw out a figure, which was 3 times what I did for him. So I contacted the original owner. I said, "Hey, I don't know if you still like that or want it, if you want to make double, triple your money." And he goes, No, I'm good with it. I'm going to keep hanging on to it. I don't, it was, and I thought, so it did appreciate because your prices kind of go up.
Absolutely.
So, here's me trying to flip a piece of my own art from somebody, but yet I'm not going to make I don't make any money on that. When you flip.
Yeah, but it's the ego part.
Yeah, the ego. It's like, man, that's like 4 times the amount. It's an investment, man. Come on. Yeah, it's actually it'd be more of a Greek guy. You pay now $300, but tomorrow it's worth $5 million. Easy. Greeks also exaggerate a lot.
You don't say. You don't say.
Yes, I went to a Greek restaurant once in New York City, brand new restaurant in the Village. And it was just open. It's like grand opening. The Acropolis, Parthenon, the Trojans, whatever they always call them the same. Nikos, Yannis, Pap. They call everything.
Yannis. Everything's Yannis.
Yanni or Papoose. It's everything. Those are the names. And this place was like, something like, the Acropolis 3 and or Mykonos. And it was, I went in and I said, "Oh, I'll take the spanakopita." And he goes, "That's great choice. Spanakopita's good here." And I'm talking Greek to him a little bit. And it was a huge piece of spanakopita. Okay. And I went, "This is big." And he goes, "Everything is big here. Everything." And then he brought like a bowl of avgolemino soup. It was a massive bowl. I go, "This is huge." He goes, "Everything is huge here. Everything." And then the dessert, the baklava, was like... And anyway, flash forward about 2 years later, I went back. All the servings were tiny, and those guys were. I go, "Oh, can I get another piece?" And he goes, "That's all. That's spanakopita. That's all. No more." I go, "Can I get another? Do you have extra, things for the soup?" Or no, that's all that comes. And it was a whole. And then the next year they were closed.
Yeah, their business plan had changed.
They changed. You can't give away big stuff like that.
No, you can't give away anything and remain in business. I mean,
so Greeks were saying are a little bit stupid.
I didn't say. He said that, not me.
No, they're not stupid. These are my people, Eric.
They're your people.
They're my people. The
only thing
I
I
love
knew
the Greeks.
about the Greek folk when I was young was that movie came out.
My big fat Greek,
and they were spitting on each other.
Yeah,
I didn't understand the spitting.
Oh, it's like that's like it's almost like when someone's going to like the evil eye. If
like
someone
the Maloik.
if
the
the
Italians give them a Maloik.
if they give you the eye and they give you the, someone has envy, and then they spit on you to ward that off.
Okay. Takes a while to get used to it, I think. I don't know.
Well, they don't go, and they don't loogie. Yeah, it's not a freaking green loogie that's dangling from your ear. It's like, it's like just a little, Mr. Matias and everything. It's like,
Faristo, ay, dételo na tu diablo na medida, Christos que panaya.
Greeks are messed up. So I'm in Greece as a kid visiting when my mother took me there. And my sister, we went to visit. My dad stayed back. I cried because I was like, I'm going to see my dad again. And we went to Greece. And the thing I love the most, things I learned in Greece the most is, one, I got to ride a lot of donkeys. And it solidified my love for donkeys.
There's so many ways we could go from that one.
Solidified.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, on the wooden saddle in Greece, going up the hills. It was fantastic. And incidentally, on like Mykonos and I think Santorini, whatever, a couple islands, they've banned fat Americans from getting on the donkeys. Big fat, because they're like, come in, no, 250, get the hell off my donkey.
That's most of the tourists.
Yeah, Americans can get beefy. Listen, I'm not saying I'm
still the new norm, right?
But it's like, Americans can be beefy. And then they go over there and they're like, I want to get on that donkey. Get that give me a boost up here so I can get on that donkey. Like, don't get on that donkey. He's got to break. He's got to break. Donkey's back. But do you feel bad for the donkeys, Eric?
Fucking right, I feel bad for the donkeys.
Fucking hey,
of course. It's not their fault. We overeat over here. We're a bunch of fat asses.
And then
it's our problem.
And then you can't walk up the hill to go see the sights up in Mykonos. You got to get on a donkey's ass. Your fat ass on a donkey's ass.
But I mean, like in general traveling, you hear folks in the overseas and the Europeans especially, they look at disdain at us gluttonous Americans.
Do they really?
Yeah,
they
in our sneakers. Us gluttonous Americans with our sneakers,
and white skin, white
sneakers, yes.
White sneakers and now I always thought I was a white guy. Growing up, I thought, well, I'm here in America, a white guy. And then there was one time we were at the church in the basement. All activity in Greek churches happens in the basement, and where you can eat like loukoumades and coffee and stealing like church wine. We're doing stuff, the normal stuff kids do.
Okay, that got around other denominations too.
It made its way. Greeks started it, and then other kids go, man, I can steal wine. But we were down there, and all of a sudden, my cousin runs down the stairs, and he goes, man, there's a fight outside. And I said, I go, who? Some white dudes? And I just sit there, and he goes, no, man, Greeks, come on, let's go. And I ran up the whole way up the stairs. My little like penny loafers are clacking up the stairs, and I'm like, wait, we're not white guys anymore? What are we? And we're Greeks. Greeks are not white. So I've always remembered that. But then I'm over there with the donkeys in Greece.
Yeah.
And the second thing I realized is this very, very important thing, that if you hit a goat on the ass with a pan, it'll shit.
What?
Yeah. Just what I said.
You hit a goat on the ass with a what?
With a pan, with just a little frying pan.
You always walk around with frying pans over there?
My I had a frying pan in there, and I was in Greece in a rural little dirt roads, donkeys, fig trees, and there was a pan there, and I was like, that goat, and it was going, and I went, hit him on the ass, and he shit, and I went, wow. So then I kept doing it. I go, he shits every time. So I learned that. And so that's how the Greek vacation went.
Sounds like half our politicians.
Yeah. Oh man, could you hit Trump on the ass with a pan? He'd shit.
There is a good portion of the population who would pay to see that.
What if you hit Trump on the ass and like just dozens of people fell out? Just dozens of like refugees and old miners and like and astronauts, and he was filled with people.
There's a gold toilet joke in there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I mean, from this
and he just filled bathroom. What is that? Am I hearing a noise there?
No.
Is that me?
Well, there's air conditioning.
Oh, that's what. See
how
how
we'll bake in here with these lava lamps.
See how sensitive I am? I heard that. How about this? I'm in a hotel last night because I came to Pittsburgh to shoot something, direct a big commercial. massive commercial.
How about
guys.
that?
And so I'm in the hotel, and I told the guy, I go, listen, I go, man, I got to get a room here that's quiet, because I am like the lightest sleeper ever. I go, I can hear carpet fibers moving.
Okay.
I said, please. And he goes, oh, yeah, we can fix you up there. Say, I'll put you up. He goes, you light sleeper and that. I said, yeah. And he goes, well, he says, you don't want to be on the floor with no parties or nothing like that. I go, no, the opposite of that. I go, no parties. No, are there parties upstairs? He goes, no, you're lucky because there's no parties here. He goes, COVID, business. I go, why would you bring that up? And he goes, tell you what, Tom, I'm going to fix you up in a really nice room up there. He goes, and it's going to be, and this is, I'm not even exaggerating how this guy talked. And so I said, hey, thanks. I think it was Leonard or Lenny. I think I called him Lenny, but I couldn't read his tag.
It was Lenny.
It was like it might have been Ronnie, but it looked like it was bent or something. And the way they printed it out, it looked like Lenny. I go, hey, Lenny, thanks, Lenny. He goes, oh yeah. He goes, have a good night's sleep, Tom. And I go, is your this restaurant working? He goes, I wish. He says COVID wiped that out too. He said, ain't no restaurant here. He goes, you want to get something to eat? Go up there to the drugstore, to CVS, or he goes, they got some things you can microwave. I go, all right. So anyway, I told him I needed it to be quiet. I get up there, and in 2 a.m, I'm supposed to be up now at 5, 6, and I hear and I'm like, oh man, he put me next to a guy that's snoring, and I'm like, oh, and I was ready to
the walls.
This is I thought I heard a snoring through the walls. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you Lenny or Ronnie put me next to a guy, next to a sleep apnea guy? And then I get up and I'm like, God, just when I'm ready to call down to Lenny, and I hear and I look over and it's the fridge.
The refrigerator.
The little refrigerator is going. It's making ice. It painfully making one cube, and it's going. I was on life support. It couldn't breathe.
You got to stop staying at those hotels by the hour, buddy.
Dude, yeah, I was paying like $3 an hour, and I was also somehow there was several hookers in there with me that were being rented out as well. So yeah, it's trying to save a buck, Eric, and see where it gets me.
Lifestyle, pal.
It's all lifestyle, man. You seem to live a good lifestyle. You're happy, huh? Look at this place.
I'm happy.
Look at this
I'm
book.
Good.
People that don't, they watch us on video. They're big fans. They see this, but they're not here live to really see the reality.
To be enveloped by it, right?
Because it's filled with lights and.
It's filled with
stop signs and art and let me ask you. Yeah, no, it's a lot of shit, but it's good shit. Now, what is your fascination with Johnny Rotten? What happens there? Because you didn't like Sid.
Don't like Sid.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sex Pistols.
Yeah, but Pistols. I just think they're a hell of a rock band, and I think that there's that. I don't get the whole punk spitting thing and all that unbathed and that uncleanliness stuff. Wasn't my thing, but. He's brutally fucking honest, man. When you listen to him, he doesn't lie ever. And I think that's fascinating because here's a person that will go into any social circumstance and tell you exactly what he feels like, and he really doesn't seem to care what you think and doesn't care. There's no filter. Well, we can't live like that, but I think that's fascinating to me. He's very abrasive, and I find that fascinating as well.
Find it fascinating. Now, do you think some of it is... people can do it when they've got enough money to say, and I don't know if he has enough.
I don't think he's got a lot of money. I don't know.
So that's even more.
I think he's been pissing people off for so long, and he just doesn't care.
I think pissing people off for 4 generations.
Think about it. So if you were jaded entering the entertainment business, and you had a limited amount of success with a band, and you kept that same jaded mentality the entire time, whether you had a little money, whether you had no money, you pretty much kept that. What a way to fucking live. That's a good way to live. You got to have some peace of mind, right? Now, he did the butter commercial. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see the butter commercial. Oh, I got to see
2008, he did a butter commercial.
A butter commercial.
For an English, dairy company and he did a
Was he
butter commercial.
irreverent? Was it?
It was somewhat irreverent, but it was, and I guess that's his only really forte to like abject commercialism.
Yeah.
I think he just needed the money.
So yes,
It's like all of us needed the money.
He needs butter. He's a fucking.
Pretty much, yeah. So I just think it's the whole, it's a mentality, and I'm not brave enough to live my life like that. And just like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. Like if somebody said, "Hey, what do you think about this dress on me?" If some lady would ask that question, he would say, looks like fucking bloody rubbish." He'd
Bloody
say
rubbish.
it.
Look at your
He
fucking ass
doesn't
in that.
care. He doesn't. Right. And so, I'm not saying it's always the polite thing to do.
Yeah.
But to me, it's fascinating. It's good theater. It's good theater.
It's good theater. I agree with you, man. I just saw a documentary with Candy Darling from the Warhol superstar.
Yeah.
Transgender.
Yep.
And I loved it.
Yep.
I loved it. And first of all, she was beautiful. You know, it's like and I could see that she had a superstar kind of mentality.
Right.
Born a male, you know, with a penis, and suffered. Finally goes to New York, creates this persona, and said, "This I'm going to live every second of it, of this vision, and the way I want to live it, good, bad, or indifferent." She died very young, but it's like I looked at it and I went, "Man, she committed."
Yeah,
She committed.
I guess that's it.
And I had great respect for that, even though it led to early death. Who knows why? Hormone injections, hormone pills, whatever they were doing back then. And also made me go, it was right at a time when if you were out in public, dressed at all as a woman in the late 60s, 69, or 68, 69, they're throwing your ass in the paddy wagon.
There's no question.
And you could have a little bit of mascara
There's no
on.
tolerance
and
whatsoever.
the cops are throwing you because you're impersonating or dressing like a woman.
Right.
And so it was anti-gay. And, you know, listen, I'm a heterosexual guy, but it's like, that killed me.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? That gay people had to fight, and then the Stonewall, they had to riot against the cops. And fight like we're doing now, fighting to even not be arrested, to be able to walk down Christopher Street and be whatever, non-binary, trans, whatever you want to be. Dude, this is not that long ago, and it made me think that people got to relax a little bit with some of what's going on, because it's growing pains. You know,
it's societal growing pains. Yeah, and if you're smart enough to look back and really do a little digging, and you investigate history, you'll see that it always looks different when we're going through it, because every circumstance is different. But the essence of it is just repetitive. We've done it before at certain points in history.
Yeah. People will say, you know, you hear them all the time, like a lot of, you know, older white guys will say, like, shh, don't. But he'd be like, oh, yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the good old days. Oh, back in the day when it was good. And I want to say to those guys, when was it good, my friend? For who? For who was it good for? For
it's all perspective.
Yeah.
It's
like,
it's
some of bitching back in the 60s and 50s and 40s. Oh, when the blacks weren't allowed to vote and drink at fountains, and gays were getting beat. Oh, those were the good days.
Yeah. Exactly
and you kind of go, and in the early part of the century, last century, you know, they were lynching Italians. Oh, it was all good. So it's kind of like, I don't know, man.
You know, every generation's afraid to admit that the generation coming up behind them is a better generation, and I honestly believe it is. Now, you can look at like certain events in history and say, oh, that's not the case. Looking at it in context, they're smarter.
Yeah.
They just, every generation that comes afterwards, you know, we romanticize in this country about the greatest generation, and anyone that fought in World War II, you have my reverence.
Absolutely.
But again, looking at everything as a whole, from a technology standpoint, educational standpoint, a reasoning standpoint, a civil rights standpoint, every generation, I think, that comes afterwards, looked at it in context, is a better, smarter, more dynamic, and more, I hate to say this, I know people will disagree, I think they're more industrious. Now, the generations behind us, Tom, their industrious behavior doesn't reflect what you and I did coming out of college, flipping pizzas or deliver whatever, but it may be technology, it may be computer, but it's still there's more foresight, I think, with the generations as they go along. And I think you have to be wise enough at our age to say, hey, this is kind of reality. I'm not going to knock the younger generation because I don't understand half that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it is true, man. It's like I was watching some stuff on what you call Steve Jobs and how he it pretty much reinvented, or revolutionized the world. And just when he was coming up with Apple, making something that was, it's amazing to watch those early videos.
No question.
Where he's just like, we needed some computers, we made them for ourselves, and then some friends wanted them, and then now we, and this is like in the early 80s. I'm like, dude, this is before you invented the iPhone. The iPhone is like, this little thing here just changed the world, and
it's convenience. Don't you think? I think that
so there's some things being invented, right? There's still.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You always if you could just gather what is the next thing. Like is battery technology the next thing? Batteries will be throwaways, and we'll understand the renewable energy thing. What's the next?
The next thing? Sex robots. Sex robots.
And he says it so definitively. Yeah. He knows for a fact the next thing is sex robots.
Sex robots. What do you like?
For sure. That's exactly it.
Well, I mean, some very brilliant.
There's the wheel.
Yeah. The wheel.
The airplane.
The airplane.
The automobile. Well, the horse and buggy was in there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get all the way up to like the first computer, the iPhone, and now.
Sex robots. We've made it. We've created friends that we can have sex with. That's right. This person will do all your work, will do all your yard work, wash your car, go get deliveries, and you can have sex with it for only $29.95.
See, this is what he was up here doing the commercial for.
Yeah, sex robots, man. Well, you see these, the wonderfully brilliant Japanese people that can invent anything and come up with, and they're inventing sex friends. They're inventing friends.
I have not seen any of that.
Oh, you haven't?
Enlighten me.
Well, they're robots that are beautiful robots, smooth skin, and they kind of smile, and
it's like an alien.
And some of them can kick a ball and and carry you.
They can play kickball and have sex with you, right?
It's like, let's play catch. Where are your balls? Oops, here they are. Bat and balls. Let's play ball.
I don't know. First of all, if that was my sex robot and it talked like this, I don't think I'd have sex with it.
That's not gonna work. Yeah, that's not
like this. Like, come on, Eric. I'm your sex robot. Let's go. You and me in
Bill the truck driver.
Yeah. A couple of guys. We'll have some beers, smoke some cigars. I don't know. Go shoot some guns. I don't know. And then maybe, want some sex. I'll caress your balls.
Oh my God.
Hey, I've been working hard, Eric. I'm a little loopy.
So people always tell me that I don't get any sleep. Like they say, whether it's social media, it's you're constantly.
Oh,
moving.
I see you. Yeah, you're up when I am.
But you're way over. You're fucked up, man. You're way over the top. Like you never sleep, man.
I'm an idiot. I don't know
You're not an idiot. I just don't think you ever sleep.
Well,
you hang upside. You hang upside down in your studio, like
a bed, Dracula.
Maybe. I mean, no, but you're like recording video and you're producing content, not just art, content, marketing content. Like full bore, like wired for sound at like 3:30 in the morning.
Well,
like come on, dude.
Again, Eric, that's my sex robot doing that work. That's not me.
You cloned him.
Sex robot. I just lie in bed like Hugh Hefner. My little pajamas. My little Greek jammies and my pet goat and my donkey. That I've just hit on the ass 3 times. He's shit. And I'm like, I'm laying there and I'm like, robot, go make some content for Instagram. Instagram.
For those who have sent me messages to social media over the past 2 years and have asked me, what is Tom Megals like in real life? Now you're fucking seeing it. I can't even describe that. How do I even describe that?
Listen. It's I'm lucky I work. I'm lucky I ever had a job. Really, if you look at me, would you think you were probably lucky you've ever worked? I'm not. First of all, I'm not capable, and people have to realize this. Do you think they're honest about? I can do two, 3 jobs. That's it.
Okay.
I mean, I can do art, do some jokey stuff, some video. That's about it. But I couldn't. I don't know if I could sell real estate. I don't know if I could sell. I don't know if I could. Back in the day, my mother had high hopes that I would be an engineer or a doctor.
They always have those
high
hopes.
They do, man.
They?
Every parent does. But my poor mother.
And we keep disappointing them, don't we?
My poor mother, though, she, I fight. The Nazis come in, the Germans kill other people. I come to America. I fight, no words. No nothing, no money. And you go to art school? Tell me, please, what the hell? Well, it's like she did all that, and then I go, hey, I'm going to go hang out with some artists and smoke some weed. And maybe do some, couple lewds. And I'm going to play with dolls, Mom. What a letdown. But, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, but
those dolls you created are horrifying, man. They are. I'm sorry. Dude. I mean, they're just like beaten up, abused. Like,
why didn't anybody tell me that though when I was making them?
They're horrifying.
Why didn't someone say, "Hey, this is why you're"?
Couldn't tell you the truth. Your friends couldn't tell you the truth.
Why couldn't they do it, Eric? This is my. You weren't around, and then you would.
Johnny Rotten could have.
Johnny Rotten, what the fuck is that? Hey, goddamn fucking Joel.
See?
He said he doesn't have an arm.
You see where the pure blunt honesty is beneficial
because
at times?
You want to make money, Tom, or you want to fucking starve to death. Yeah, it's like should have been. I had some bad advice when I was making puppets for Nickelodeon and only Mr. Rogers, and I've told you that story. Only he said once, it's like, oh, look,
he tried to tell you the truth, didn't he?
That's in
a kind way.
That one there, your puppets have some problems, don't they?
Some issues.
Yeah, it has some real issues, don't they? That one there doesn't have an arm. He's smoking. Yeah, he didn't. He tried to tell me, and I didn't listen because I was like, man, here's the problem being 20-something years old.
You know it all.
You know it all, and you're like, man, it's my vision. It's my art. Don't tell me what to do. Don't stomp on the artist. Yeah, you kidding me? I'm gonna make money. I'm gonna be successful on my own terms. And that's a Greek imitation, right? No, but it was that's a defiant human. That's somebody who's like, shut up. I know what I'm doing. And I think I was that way when somebody should have said to me, because I had to back up. I did all these Nickelodeon projects. Right. They were tested. Right. Yeah, like Emmett. If anybody wants to look that up, Emmett.
And they all went over.
But they always. A couple of people have emailed me and put online. If you ever look it up, Emmett Freedy or Emmett for Nickelodeon, they've called it the most disturbing cartoon ever done. Someone said,
what a great moniker you have.
Someone said, how did Nickelodeon ever let this guy I think I was called Torm once. Torm Megals. Torm, that's not even a name. Torm.
That's like Norwegian or something.
Well, yeah. Torm? Yeah, maybe that's what it was. It was somebody from the Netherlands. It was like, oh, Torm Megals. So Torm. And I'm like, dude, first of all, there's never been an R in Tom, unless you put it at the front, or Tom. But anyway, maybe it was a Norwegian slur. This guy's tormed in the brain there. That's not even a Norwegian accent.
Those are horrifying now, man.
Yeah, and then they tested, and Nickelodeon said, yeah, it's scaring kids. And I went, what kids are getting scared? I go, didn't scare my kids. I have 3 kids. They're just conditioned. I conditioned them to be, well, they're horrified. I don't know if I ever told you. I didn't even realize it then. I was like working on, I think, one of those Nickelodeon scripts one day.
Right.
And I'm on my Mac from like 99, 2000, right. And I'm like typing away on the first version of Word. I'm excited. I'm like typing. So when I type, I scripts, I do them out loud. So I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, are you serious?
No, come on, don't do that.
Oh, you stupid. Oh, help me, help. And I look back, and our neighbor girl was with my daughter, and she was overplaying, and she's standing there looking at me, and I went, oh, hey. And my daughter's right there, and she's like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8. And she goes, oh, my dad's working on a script. And she remember her looking at me like, God, you're so weird. You're scaring everybody. And I'm like, what? This is how I work. But those scripts and the designs were later, I think They tested really high,
Right.
old, and it did scare kids. And some kids said that it ruined their childhood. And I'm very sorry. That's why I'm doing this podcast. Very sorry.
And they had to reach out to tell you expressly that.
Yeah, well, the one guy put it on there is like, how'd this get done? This is the most horrific. And then they said, the number one most. He was voicing this thing. He goes, and doing a video. And he goes, and number one, the most disturbing cartoon ever done for children, Emmett, on Nickelodeon, on Kablam or whatever. And I saw that and I was like, dude, what an honor, my friend. Thank you so much. I typed like, oh, wow. And he goes, oh, my God. Oh, the creator. I never thought you would see this. I go, what? I'm on the internet, just like everybody, at 2 or 3 in the morning.
That's when you're always on the internet.
Yeah, and then the kid goes, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't insult you. I go, dude, you didn't insult me. What?
Yeah.
What? The most disturbing cartoon?
Well, you were trying to get a reaction. I mean, you create the art to get a reaction, right?
I thought, Eric, back then, I actually thought they were just funny, not scary. Am I an idiot?
Well,
I'm an idiot.
Humor is different to every person, right? I mean, they were pretty fucking scary.
Well, that's why they didn't get, that's why you and I are doing this podcast on a boat sailing around the world.
Damn it.
Yeah.
In Greece.
Yeah. But so that therein lies, how do artists have, and you've interviewed a lot of artists on here and on other places, do they have a business sense? And you,
right brain, left brain, pal.
So so do you need a business partner that'll rip you off and just control you? I don't know, but it's like a lot of artists don't go, wow, I want to make some money. I just got to compromise here. Don't make them so scary. Or let's listen, or let's, and don't be so like, it's
When
my
you're young-
vision.
Yeah, when you're young, though, you probably don't grab onto the vision as firmly the older you get, right?
Yeah, but here's what's going on now.
Okay.
Is that I was going through that cycle of like, I want to do business, but I'm back to like going, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing it for me. I just got to make art for me, man. Like I'm doing, less commercials, less sort of hire for things that, and I've turned down some stuff. I've even put it on video where I've had a couple issues where it's been like, oh, I can't go through that abuse with these guys. I can't. These ad guys that are,
I get it.
And it's like you go, and I've done a lot of that. When you're raising 3 kids, you do stuff, But it's
the dark days.
The dark days. But now my kid's a little older, so it's like I have the chains are off, kind of. But now I'm paying for weddings and stuff. But it's but it's like, I have a great admiration for people that kind of hold steady too and go, I'm never going to change. It's always, but they make money.
Yeah.
It's like somehow, you go, wow, that dude held to his vision, held to his beliefs, never sold out, and still made a ton of money.
Yeah, that's rare, though.
That is rare. Who did that?
Without adapting.
Who did that? Picasso? An artist. I'm thinking musicians. Some musicians, like I saw another I watch a lot of documentaries.
Obviously. You're up at 3:30 in the morning, totally wired for sound on coffee.
It's like, what's on now? Oh, it's Leonard Skinner documentary. So I watched that one too. And we all know, the plane went down, Van Sant dead.
Yeah, man.
And they were like, but one guy said, it took us like, 7 years to make, get out of Jacksonville, and nobody cared about the Leonard Skinner sound, and then, he says, and it's kind of like they couldn't make it work.
Yeah.
We was down in Muscle Shoals, and
Didn't the high school gym teacher name them or something?
Leonard Skinner. They named after Leonard Skinner.
And later he was probably like, they named the band after me? What the hell? I'm walking down the street there. I was at the Dunkin' Donuts and the people say, play Freebird. So I dropped my pants. I didn't know what they were talking about.
Oh, you expose yourself?
They said free the bird. So I took it out.
Oh, my God, it's hysterical.
I don't know what to say, Eric. I'm just saying that it's those guys took 7 years.
Yeah, to break.
Yeah. And kept going, holding to it. Maybe because they had nothing else they could do.
Do you think that rigidity? Do you think that younger artists now cannot do that based upon music tapestry, art tapestry in today's world. It's like, case in point, like Rush, really quirky, weird band. They were going to do things their way, and if they didn't work out, then they would have just probably faded away. But it worked. Kiss, same thing. We're going to do the craziest thing imaginable, and people think we're nuts. We're going to keep doing it, and it kind of worked. Today, can you really do that? I mean, your son's a young, how would I say, a young rising artist. Do you see his challenges in terms of his creativity versus what he thinks or what he's being told he needs to do?
Man. Well, man, isn't the music business totally different now from what it was in
there a music business?
Yeah. And that's what my son, Nick or Zach would say. It's like one thing they do say, this is frightening to even hear this, but Zach, my 23-year-old would go, I'm too old.
What?
And I go, what?
What?
And he goes, Dad, you seen the kids that break now? They're 15, 16. And I'm like, dude, no, you're not. And even Nick, who's older, I'm like, God, no. And they're like, no, the music business is populated with that. And that kind of music they do, which is something a little quirkier, a little older rock. It's like, where's the niche for that? But, here's me though. I'll listen to their music going, God, no, man, it should be out there. This is great. What are you talking? I'm the biggest cheerleader and going, no, you just got to figure out your audience is there.
Right.
And in today's terrain, whether you're a painter or a musician or whatever, a comedian, whatever you are, if you only need a small group to love you, right?
Right.
And they can support you and you can make a living.
Right.
You might not become rich,
right,
but at least support it. And isn't the definition of success doing what you love doing full time?
Opportunities are a little more limited now because you would think that you'd be able to reach so many more people. Like you can reach art patrons all over the world.
Yeah.
If your work is likable and you're able to market it, but you're in charge of your own marketing.
Yeah.
Really. And I think for musicians, it's the same thing now.
Yeah. So because aren't they kind of giving away a lot of the music?
Is it disposable? I think we talked about that last time. Is music disposable? Not a terrible word to use with music, but you almost have to say the product being the song is kind of disposable now.
Disposable.
Well, it's being used in a disposable fashion.
So you're downloading it, you're listening to it, you're on Spotify. It's like, so you're not buying
disposable
a record.
As far as the artist is concerned. Yes, it is a part of them. They're putting on that platter. Old school, right? But as a marketing tool to earn money, is it no longer a viable vehicle to earn money?
Because you're not selling records or
it's not a sellable commodity.
So,
so is it disposable?
So then the only way to make money is going on tour.
Yeah, it's the only way to make money.
And you can't tour now.
Nope.
No. There's nobody filling your small rooms, or big rooms. So it's going to change.
Mosh pit at the drive-in.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel bad for, a lot of the performers and the people that need the rooms to make a living. And the Greek in me a little bit is like creating product. Mm-hmm. I used to work in a theater when I was young, and I thought, this could be my life. And I realized that there was no product, and I didn't know that then, but I needed, when I make art, it's here, and I have it's something
finished product,
and it exists, and it's a document of that time,
Got it.
and I can put it over there, and eventually it might sell. Or not, but it's like then you move on to then there's records of and so I've always needed that.
It's almost like a measurement of time.
Yeah, man, it's you can look back and go, that's what I was doing in 1912. There it is. I was painting Bigfoot. I'm going to become a Bigfoot artist. Bigfoot artist, 100% Bigfoot.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. I'm lying.
Are you fascinated by all that crap you see on I don't know, on late
porn
night TV?
Sites?
No.
Oh, no.
late night television.
What do I say?
When you're working in the studio, you can't watch TV, but I'm guessing you can put it on, right?
Yeah, I don't even have a TV in there now in the studio.
But you don't need a television anymore to consume video content.
Yeah. No. So what late night shows?
Just, I don't know, we've done some UFO shows recently. They've gone over huge. It's a fascinating subject to me. We're going to do some more. But that stuff generally kind of comes, like paranormal, Bigfoot, UFO stuff kind of comes on.
Yeah, late.
A lot.
Yeah. Well, so you're asking, I mean, do I look at that?
Do you see that stuff? What do you think about all that stuff?
Well, that's interesting.
I mean, you're going to paint Bigfoot, for God's sake.
Well, it is interesting because I just watched, again, another documentary on the moon landing, the recreation.
You did.
Did you see that?
I didn't. Did they recreated it?
They recreated it with the original audio, with some actors and then some live footage.
Did they come to a consensus? Was this conspiratorial in nature?
No, it was
it's factual. It was a real science documentary.
Eagle, and then the guy's like, it was just like it was just, man, I was like, wow.
Did we go there?
Yeah, I think they went. Yeah, I think they went. Yeah, I know probably some people you've had on here don't believe that, but I believe that they went, and I believe that astronauts, but when you look at this documentary, you're like, man, everything had to go exactly right for the rocket to disengage, then to the module to go down, to find a place to land exactly on flat ground.
Right.
They took a lot of cameras, different things. You don't believe it.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm very skeptical.
Really? And why would they have done it? Because the Russian?
I think there was I don't know. Obviously, Kennedy
because they had the Sputniks and the Russian people.
Kennedy made a promise, right?
Yeah, he made a promise to a lot of chicks. Yeah,
supposedly.
Yeah, he did.
He had a bad back, I heard.
All right. We don't know.
That probably
Where's
caused
Marilyn?
a bad back.
Why isn't Marilyn here?
They took her to the moon and left her there.
She's up there. Yeah. Oh man.
I think it's possible that we went up. I think it's possible that it was partially a ruse. We threw the spaceship up there and they circled the Earth because
not the moon.
Yeah, I think they just circled the Earth. Maybe we never touched down on the moon. All that was filmed and
really.
And then so
I wonder why they would.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Google's like an amazing company, right? We both agree Google's an amazing company.
I love Google.
Like stunningly amazing.
Yeah.
And they have all these crazy telescopes now, right? Where's the telescope view of the fucking flag on the moon? Where's the telescope view now of the footprints that we left? Where's the telescope view of the 57 Chevys we left up there? Because I think we went back a couple times and left some cars up there, didn't we?
What car? They just left crap.
We left some moon rovers.
Rovers. Okay,
car. We left some cars.
I was thinking there was mementos, American mementos. I don't know.
We left some cars up there.
Yeah.
Where are the photos of that? If they're still sitting up there.
You're saying that there's no pictures of those?
I've never seen them. No one's ever. I've looked. No one's. And we have all this telescopic power.
Let me call Jimmy NASA right now. He's over in Cleveland at the NASA Center, the John Glenn Center. Let me call him.
I'm just saying, you think we would see that stuff?
Man. I don't know.
Well, who took it then?
Well,
Did it disappear?
I think it's there. Well, it's there, and some stuff doesn't it disintegrate over time?
No,
because it's
not
moon.
In 40, 50 years. Maybe about 400 and 500,000 years. Maybe.
I'm gonna look now to see if it's there because I'm thinking there's some snapshots.
There's no atmosphere, so it can't rust.
Yeah.
There's no wind theoretically, so it's not going to get covered with moon dust.
So you're saying we went there just to sort of beat the Russians and go, hey, we did it.
We said we went there. Whether we actually did or not, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not a flat earther. Yeah. I believe the Earth is round.
Yeah,
I believe, of course.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this, I think there's a lot of holes.
That's so interesting. I mean, do you not want? I want to believe. I am actually one of those people like wants to believe in like that
you're not being lied to.
Yeah. I mean, I want to.
Right.
I want to believe that like I don't want to be that guy. Yeah, I don't trust that guy. I don't believe him. I don't want to believe that guy. What's he saying? That like I want to go. Really? Well, he said it.
Yeah.
He must. Like the honesty of people.
Take them on their word.
Take them on their word, because
it'd be a nicer world if we could do that.
It's. but I know that, government has always kind of lied to people. I mean, it certainly lied to us during Vietnam and stuff.
So do you think aliens ever step foot on this planet? Or you think it's all just folklore? I
do not think that aliens have landed here.
Okay.
I don't even think that there's UFOs, but it's in terms of the universe, I do have this, it's not alien stuff, but I do believe that the parallel universe, when people say like, heaven or whatever, that it's a direct parallel right here existing side by side world. So I have this thing of like death, that's like, because I've had some experiences with sort of people like my mother,
right?
Where I've gone, wow, she's definitely communicating with me. Mm-hmm. And I know people say that, well, that's always the deceased. You want to believe that. But I believe she's a strong spirit. And I'm like, of course, it's just right here. It's not like it's up in a
different plane.
Yeah, it's just a different plane.
Yeah, I get it.
And I feel that.
Yeah.
And it's like, and so, and I'm like, and that's kind of comforting in a way. Mm-hmm. And I think it's possible. And sometimes when people go, that's absurd, and they don't believe anything, and because they're too intellectual, I'm like, dude, then you're not. If you don't believe anything like that, then maybe you aren't that intelligent. Because if you believe this is all there is, then I think that you lack openness. And your brain is actually smaller than you think.
Possibly, because there's got to be the idea that there could be other possibilities. I mean, for us to think that we know it all, that we know all of the elements we can identify are all there is in the universe, that's insanity.
Yeah, I 100%.
How could that possibly be?
It's like, I'll tell you a little quick story about, my first sort of, most recent, and it isn't even that recent, but when my children were born, my Greek family, my mother's a hardcore Greek. My three children. Is there a
special ceremony there we need to know about or something?
Yeah, no, there's no special ceremony, but it's
throw the kids against the wall, they bounce right like that.
Yeah, it's Greek, but it's so the kids weren't baptized.
Okay.
They weren't. I didn't baptize them. My wife's not Greek. I wasn't sure.
Right,
it's what I'm going to do. And then now they're 10, and 4 years apart, 6, 11, 7. They're getting older. And my mother would always go, "Tommy, children not get baptized. Tommy, please, I can die. No, they not baptized, please." And I go, "Mom," for a while. And this one morning was hardcore. She called me like at 7 a.m.
Really?
"Tommy, I had a dream. Please, why not children baptized, Tommy?" And I go, "Mom, I know. Mom, I know. Tommy, please, do for me, And I went, so anyway, 2 hours.
Mother's guilt.
2 hours later, I'm downtown, at an edit place. A good friend of mine, Manny Politis, Greek. And
don't say.
Manny Politis, great guy. And a long time, I worked with him as an editor. So I'm editing, and he just turns back to me in the middle of this edit and goes, "Tom, are your kids baptized?"
Out of the blue?
Out of the blue. And I went, "Man, Manny, this is like 9:30 or 10, a few hours later."
Okay.
And I said, "Why are you asking me that?" He'd never asked me that.
Right.
And he goes, "I'm just thinking about it. Or why aren't they baptized?" I go, "What, did you talk to my mother this morning?" And he goes, "No, and I go, "Man, she just called me."
That's deep.
So then, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I'm like driving towards Shady Side area, Pittsburgh. Thought, I'm going to go get a Starbucks. I'd never been to this Starbucks in Shady Side. I go in, getting a coffee, and I hear, "Tommy Megals, Tommy." And I look back, and it's a buddy of mine from high school.
Okay.
And I go, "Man, Nick, hey, man." And he goes, "Yeah, oh, man." I said, "Do you live around?" He goes, "I'm just moving back here." And he goes, I go, "Have you been to Starbucks here?" And he goes, "No, I just came in. I just wanted to get a coffee." "Hey, sit down." So we sat down. We're having a coffee, and he goes, "Are your kids baptized?" And I went, "Oh, man." I go, "Oh, Nick." And my heart, I go, "Why are you asking me this?" I said, "You're the third person today. Right. What's happening here, man?"
Right.
Why? And he goes, "Yeah, you gotta, man, you might want to consider taking them." He goes, to the monastery that's out there, Father Jim, and I went, yeah, yeah, man, I'll look into that. So my son Nick was having a few little issues, and I thought, I want to take Nick to this monastery. My son Nick is having problems that this other Nick friend of mine mentioned. So I called the monastery, and I said, hey, can I bring, are you going to be there? And I talked to a secretary or one of the nuns that they're out in Saxonburg, Greek monastery. And my wife goes, no, I don't think he's taken there. Really? I go, no, I'm not talking about baptism at all. Nothing. I said, no, I just think that maybe this would help him. He talked to somebody, my old friend Nick, who, yeah. So she goes, all right, okay. And so I'm driving on the turnpike now, the PA, heading towards that way, the parkway, heading. And she calls me, my wife calls me and goes, turn around, come get me. I want to go out with you. I went, okay. And I turned around. So now I took the three kids, my wife, out to this monastery.
Okay.
And we're there on this big green grass going up. Priest comes out. And he's with his long robe, beard, and he goes, hey, Tom, Denise, Nick. He starts calling out everybody. And I went, what? And my wife falls into his arms. They go around, I'm condensing some of this, but comes back and he goes, hey, we're getting your kids baptized next week. We're getting you. And it was like all this fusion came together within like 2 days. And I remember looking at him going, man, what's happening, Father Jim? I go, and he goes, God works on his own plan. Things are just happening. They've been happening. Not to get all spiritual and religious, but anyway, they got baptized. It was the most amazing thing. That day, my mother was like, in heaven, literally.
Right, sure.
They're getting baptized. He's like, the priest is doing the thing, doing the nuns are singing, all this smoke. I thought, man, I could die right now. And my mom finished, she goes, that was good job. Good baptism job, Tommy. And I thought, Mom,
God bless her, man.
Yeah, and it was like, and then later I thought that was truly this divine thing happening. And my point is, and I'm not I'm spiritual, but not like, I don't go to church a lot. I don't really, I'm like not a great Greek that way, but it's, that day I went, oh man, this is for real.
Yeah.
This other plane all coming together, things happening, things working, being open to this sort of universe. And it was like 100%. I believed it. Now, if you're an over intellectual person or whatever, you're going, you're not even seeing that.
Right.
You're not seeing it.
You're not open to it.
You're not open to it. So now, since that time, I've been a lot more open to the universe and to God and to kind of going, hey man, hey man, hey God, hey listen, God, man, I was wondering, man, dude, I got up there, dude. Yeah, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah, it's being open, Eric. That's what I'm saying. And I think good things happen. Listen to things. No matter what you are.
But that's good advice, even without taking, even getting esoteric, because so much of us, even in this country, without going down the rabbit hole, everybody's just so closed-minded. They think they know it all, and their way's the right way.
Yeah.
And what their neighbors are feeling, or what their friends even are feeling, they don't want to hear it. These are my core values. Nothing's going to change that, and I'm right. Yeah. That's a shitty way to live, man.
Man, it is, man.
So many people living that way in this country. Completely.
Do you think it's just here? Or do you think it's a lot of...
Man, I hope it is only here. I would hope that those... I would hope that Europe really is kind of laughing at us, some of these countries. I would hope Canada's laughing at us. I would hope so, because I would hope that we are that much of a fool now, because that gives me hope that we can fix it.
Yeah.
And the whole world's not as effed up as we are.
Yeah. I think we're going to fix it. I think that this growing pain, I think people are going to realize that we're all equal. This sounds like all hippie and stuff, but love each other, respect each other, realize we are all, my God, I mean, maybe you've met people like this. I'm shocked when I do that think they are above somebody.
No question.
Anybody. It's no like, question. Dude, you're not above anybody.
Right.
You want to almost shake them. And I've lost a couple friendships recently going, I can't loaf with you, man, because this, non-binary person or this, we're all the same. This black person, you're
Absolutely
not
right.
any better.
Absolutely
you are
right.
not. You are flesh and bones and liver and you're
What
all the
drives me
same.
nuts is that we seem to, when I say we, I mean collectively as Americans, us collectively have for decades given a pass for those people who have lived in parts of the country where they don't get any diversity. They've never seen diversity. We give them a pass, like, oh, they're from this area, you know, they've never seen diversity. But too fucking bad.
Yeah,
if you weren't taught as a child correctly that that not, it just goes beyond equal rights. It goes about your standing as a human being. If you weren't taught that by your parents or your community, that's an effing problem. And
Yeah.
you don't. And to me, you don't get a pass.
Yeah.
I don't care where you were born.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And I think that's raising that parochial bullshit has been really exposed the past couple of years.
Yeah. So maybe now that
Open wound.
yeah. So maybe now that it has been
I'm
torn open,
I'm hoping.
that those people are not
I'm
going to be lights on them.
Yeah.
You're not going to get away with this shit, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give people a somewhat of a light pass on ignorance because they really weren't exposed to certain things. But we have a pretty civilized society for the most part. You would never know by watching their major news stations, but we live in a civilized society and still what I believe to be the most advanced and amazing country on the planet. And because of that, you have seen enough modernism to realize the difference between good and bad, kind and not kind, and right and wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't give you a pass
Yeah.
completely for staying in old, backwards ways. I can't give you a pass for that.
No, and it's some shocking.
We have
stuff.
done it in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, northern folks will look at southern folks, and southern folks will look at northern folks, and we just disagree. You can disagree, but I can't give anybody a pass for being so antiquated that you can't give the decency and the respect to every human equally. That drives me insane.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. And I don't know. This is going to be really interesting for the next, 4 years, 5 years. It is pivotal. It's like a pivotal point where
We got to get through December.
Yeah.
we got to get through the election. Yeah, the election's part of the landscape, but we're in COVID, man.
yeah,
We're in a pandemic.
yeah,
And I don't even know what that even means anymore. As we sit here,
Yeah.
in the middle of September
Yeah.
of 2020, what does that even mean?
yeah. I don't know. And then every day now you hear. I heard that Pittsburgh came up with something like the past 2 days, like we got maybe a treatment, maybe
Yeah.
and you're like, all right, good guys, let's get the smart people on this.
Right.
Let's do something.
And that's going to, I think, what Tom, that industrious, intelligent goodness, I think, will rise above all the political bullshit in this country
Yeah.
and all the divisiveness and all the racism. I think that the idea of helping someone
Yeah.
will rise. And of course, this part of the population will say, well, there's going to be a money component of the tax. Well, sure, there's, industrious behavior, there's always a money
Yeah,
component, but you're
absolutely.
still doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're still doing it for the benefit of your common
yeah.
man, right?
Yeah. So we got to hope that this is the next, it's like the Jonas Salk moment where it's like,
We need one.
We're going to find this and save people and get them from being terrified and shutting down the economy.
Yeah.
Cause it ain't no good for nobody. And it's, especially when, man, I just get so bummed when I meet people that are just down, really down emotionally. And you kind of go, man, come on. They're
Yeah,
like,
me
whole
too.
life. And you're like, come on, dude. This is, you're still here.
Right.
There's anything can happen. Because if you lose hope, you lost it, right? I mean, hope is what keeps you going and keeps you moving.
Absolutely right.
And
Hope's not a strategy, though.
yeah, hope's not a strategy.
It's not a strategy. It's essential, just
Yeah.
not a strategy.
Not a strategy. You got to attach a strategy to that.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, now you can put me to work. Now you put me to work, dude. God. Eric McKenna.
You just kept making art, huh? I mean, your whole thing was to bear down and just keep doing your thing.
Let me tell you something, Eric. I think art's always been.
This is your Newt Rockney moment now.
This is my Newt Rockney moment. Get out there, guys. Get out there and beat those. We're fighting against Carnegie Tech. And Carnegie Tech, my old alma mater, beat them. Carnegie Tech beat Notre Dame. And here's the thing. This is a lesson that Newt Rockney learned. He was Notre Dame.
Right.
Newt Rockney. Even the name is like... It's like, my name was Jimmy Gimble, but I need a football name. Jimmy Gimble isn't going to cut it. How about this? Juke Brobby. No, wait. How about this? Knock Newby. No, wait. Luke Rockney. That's the best one. That's a great one. Let me go with that one. Who's anybody got that one? No, you got it, Chubb. You're the best. Newt Rockney. I'm going with it. Yeah, he needed a football name. Yeah, Calvin Smochy. That's not working. No, Newt Rockney.
God,
that's the one you need, pal.
That's great.
So Newt Rockney. Newt Rockney. That's like Dick Butkus. I mean, that's like the...
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, wait, who's the guy? Bart Starr.
Bart Starr.
Holy God. What kind of...
Best quarterback name ever,
Bart
right?
Starr. Now, come on. What's your real name there, pal? What are you, a quarterback? No, my name's Bart Starr.
What was his real name?
Huh?
What was his real name? Bart Starr?
I think it was Bartholomew Starlingus. Bartholomew Starbalachki. Bartholomew Starbalachki here. I'll play quarterback. No, you're Newt Rockney. No, you're not Newt Rockney. You can't use that name. How about Bartholomew Stabuchki? No. How about Bartholomew Stabalingo? No, that's Italian. You need something that's badass. Something that's a badass quarterback name. How about this one? How about Bartolo? No, that's like an opera star. Come on, you little idiot. How about Bart Starr? Go with Bart Starr. That's the kid you're gonna make it there. But I never play quarterback. But you got a great name. Isn't it all in the name? Kiss. You knew they had to be better than Twisted Mister, whatever they call it.
Twisted Sister. Twisted Lizard. Twisted Sister.
Not Twisted Sister, like it was called.
The original. Wicked Lester.
Wicked Lester.
It wasn't bad, though.
All right. Wicked Lester. Ladies and gentlemen, Wicked Lester. And bad. Kiss. I'm not sticking around for Kiss. Kiss sounds like it's kind of a Broadway, Broadway band.
That shouldn't have worked. It did. It shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Think about that. There's a lot of anomalies in life that did things that worked that you would think shouldn't have worked.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
You know?
But what were you asking? No. Let me just finish.
Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch.
I mean, that worked. That was pretty good. Chips. That shouldn't have worked.
Chips shouldn't have worked.
No, that shouldn't have worked. That's as cornball as it comes, man.
There was a lot of cornball TV, man, back in the day. I mean, I look at some of the old stuff and I'm like, wow, and that stuff influenced me. And you kind of go, wow, there was some really, like the other day, I watched some...
Like Barney Miller. Who the fuck watched Barney Miller?
No, I don't know.
The greatest baseline in history. But once you get past that, like the first 30 seconds, there's nothing there.
But,
Chico and the Man.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
That didn't...
that shouldn't have worked.
Well, he killed himself, so it couldn't... Poor guy. Yeah, he didn't... And during the show, when he was at the height of...
I didn't know that. The height of mediocrity.
Chico and the Man, yeah. It's
I did not know that.
Yeah, he took himself... It's sad. He was a 21-year-old kid. What's his name? Freddie Prinze.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just...
That's right.
Freddie Prinze was like 21, and he shot himself, and he was like on a hit, kind of a hit show. It was a Norman Lear, right? But it was, I don't know. But let me just back up for a second, because people are hanging on this.
Okay.
Newt Rockney. Back in the Newt Rockney days, I'll tell you what, McKenna here. I can change your name from Eric McKenna. Something to like Eric Baller. Eric Ball. E-Baller. That's what you... No, so Newt Rockney, he was playing, Carnegie Tech, little Pittsburgh team, little Pittsburgh tech guys, engineers,
right?
Pocket, protectors. They're like...
you play quarterback and I'll run the fullback. What do you want to play? I like to play tight end. Wait a minute. Why do we all have the same voice?
But they're all like,
okay, hey, two, all right, three. Let's diagram this play.
So these guys, Carnegie Tech, the nerds. Let's just call them. They're nerds.
Uh-huh.
They were playing Notre Dame.
Right.
And Newt says, "Hey, I'm I'm not going to go to that game. I don't have time for that. I got big things here. We got Alabama. We got whatever, Clemson, the Army. We're getting ready for the Army game. You go play those little nerds down there. You take the team, go down to Pittsburgh, play those Pittsburgh before they put the H on there. Go back and play Pittsburgh, and I'll be, I'm gonna have a drink and a cigar, and I'll meet you back here. He never went to the game. Carnegie Tech beats him.
Wow.
So don't ever underestimate the little guy.
No.
Especially a guy with a calculator,
pocket
protector, and flood pants.
Before you get out of here, though,
I got to head on. I got to draw.
I know. I'm not letting you leave until you explain.
I ain't explaining shit,
You're
Eric.
going to explain this one.
Don't put me in a corner. Nobody puts a Greek in a corner.
What the fuck is up with the Browns, man?
Oh, the Browns? I'll explain this.
Can you explain the Browns?
I'm going to explain the Browns to you, Eric.
Okay.
Because
I'm here in Steeler country.
Yeah.
And we
I'm gonna
get a lot of
explain it.
humor out of the Browns.
Sure you do.
We get a lot of humor.
Sure you do.
But it's almost to the point of fascination now because no matter how much they spend, no matter who they bring on that team, who they draft, who their coach is,
doesn't matter.
Whatever the fighting issue is with the Steelers that year, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They still stink.
They still stink.
I don't understand it.
Well, here's part. And living up in the Cleveland area, my studio is in Cleveland, Ohio. And
I do not hold that against you. And you're still on this show.
I'm still in the show. But, I mean, I love Pittsburgh. Oh, I lived here for years. My kids are born here. I went up there to do a radio show for the Buzzard. Here's
the Buzzard.
The Buzzard, WMMS. I worked on the Buzzard for a short while and then got fired. Because I can't. Yeah. And it's probably best. Because podcasts is where it's at. Terrestrial radio. This is where it's at, baby.
It's the future.
It's podcasting.
Yes.
And you got better mics. You got everything. You got guitars.
Yeah.
So
video.
And video. Mm-hmm. So what happened was this. I believe this to some extent. We were talking about spiritualism, the other realm, the juju, the being open. Well, there was a fella, an evil fella, a demon on earth. By the name of Art Modell. I'm going to blame it on. So Art Modell, the demon that he was.
Flogging that guy.
Yeah. So he's long gone. And he's probably on the other side right now, knocking on the glass, going, "Shut up, you goddamn creep! It's me, Modell. Can't you hear me? No. I got new Rockney here, you dumbass. Really? Oh, Mr. Modell, hold on. Get Lincoln and we'll talk." So Modell takes the Browns. The Cleveland Browns, and takes them to Baltimore.
In the middle of the night.
Evil bastard. Takes them to...
He also wouldn't even fly him. He took him by bus.
Also fires Belichick right before that, a genius coach.
Oh, yeah. No
so
doubt.
Modell's doing some bad stuff to Cleveland. And he thought he was doing, listen, I don't know, they didn't want to build a stadium for me. Whatever it was, and
he ran out on the people.
Yeah, ran out and ripped the soul out of that city, football-wise, because Cleveland is an amazing football city. Mm-hmm. They're a football city more than anything.
Yeah.
There's a basketball championship, but it's like football, man.
Right.
So here Modell takes the soul, Baltimore, the Ravens. They kept the name, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And they went to the Super Bowl. Didn't they win the Super Bowl? The Ravens, that was the Browns. And the Browns then had nothing. It's like you rip your orphans. Then you come back years later and you.
The best they had was Drew Carey.
Yeah.
He came back and the only draw was Drew Carey at the first game.
Drew Carey. Yeah.
That was it.
So it like the soul was ripped out.
Yeah.
I'm being a little dramatic maybe, but you know what I mean. It's like I felt like it's, part of it was just.
But there were some crazy battles between Pittsburgh and the Browns. And the Browns had their way with the Steelers for most of the 80s. And
Bernie Kosar. And,
Clay Matthews. Yeah. I mean, and there were some wars in the Municipal Stadium there.
Didn't Bill Cowher play for the Browns?
That
might have been the 70s, 80s. I don't know what it was.
I don't know. But I get it. But still.
That's not a true explanation.
But it's 20 years.
It's ownership. Let's say. Is it ownership?
I guess.
Is it Haslam? I don't know. Are we allowed to say that on a podcast? I don't know. I'm not a football expert, but I know something's very, very wrong. They just can't. And you know what?
And the faithful is so loyal. That's
Oh,
the thing.
my
We
God.
see it because the
my
Steelers
God.
fans are nuts, but we can appreciate a loyal fan base.
Oh, my
And
God.
we see it there.
There's
you know?
they so want a winner,
Yeah,
man.
of
I mean,
course.
and when the
course.
Cavaliers won the NBA championship, I went to that 1 million plus parade, and it was like, man, I'm one of those people that I'm a fierce. I wasn't born in Cleveland, and I lived in Pittsburgh a lot of time. But I defend the city because I think that it's the people there are great.
Yeah.
It's got it does have a lot of heart. It's got the grittiness I love. Like I'll go to West Coast cities sometimes. Like my son lives in Palm Springs. I love Palm Springs.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. But I'm there going, looking around for sort of like, hey, where's the art lofts, the support for the art
Right,
lofts? And
right.
it doesn't exist.
Interesting.
Cleveland is like artist lofts, artist support, greatest museum.
Right.
There's a sense of culture there. There's a grit. There's a reality. There's hard working sons of bitches that really grind and work. And I'm Greek. I'm a first generation. I respect that. I love it.
Right.
It's like people that are just not working or just like their pansy asses. I have a problem with. I'm like, dude, anything you want to achieve takes hard work,
No doubt.
and dedication.
No doubt.
So if you're not gonna put the work in and the dedication, and I don't want nothing to do with you. But it's like I see in Cleveland, they're working their asses off, and so I'm like, come on, man, get this right because they are a great fan base, and so when I don't know, you know how it is. Sometimes the easy target of like, Cleveland steak on the lake. I'm like, dude, come on, write a better slogan, okay? That was from write something more clever. Come up with something better. And I just don't like there's problems. There's problems in Detroit. There's problems in a lot of cities. Miami. Every city
we
has.
don't have a pro basketball team. You guys are able to keep a pro basketball team there.
Yeah,
I mean
So I don't know. I think they gotta get it right, man, somehow. And maybe it is ownership, and it's like in basketball, or I'm sorry, football is like it's an escape.
Yeah.
But I can relate to it because you were asking earlier about art, and art's always been an escape for me. That's that's what when I was little.
Right.
It's like things are like the world is, and you just as soon as you go to the paper, it's all good. You draw. Art is. I always say my studio is the most peaceful.
Yeah.
Like
Therapeutic.
in life. I have. You might not guess, but I'm an anxious person. I'm hyped up. I have, and I get anxious about things.
Coffee.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah, like I need that shit. But it's like I go in the studio and it's like,
Your Zen moment.
it's just peaceful. It's like floating in there, man. There's no pressure.
I gotta come in there because it just seems
Come
like
on
there's
in, man.
stuff everywhere.
It's kind of like this. It's like Boogie Street. It's like
Just
Mega
like
Street.
20 times bigger than this. It's huge.
Actually, it looks bigger on video. It's smaller than this. It's only 4 foot by
Nice.
4 foot. But with 75-foot ceilings.
With little miniature people in there, right?
But anyway, that's kind of the thing. And I do have to go pretty soon, Eric. I mean, I'd love to stay here forever.
Oh,
but is there any other questions you have to ask me before I
you
leave?
kind of ended on the Browns.
We can go up. We can end on something good. What?
something.
Yeah.
Good. It can be a bad season this year. Huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be a bad season. It's gonna be a bad season. But I don't care. Is football that? Is it that?
It's
Here's
just
the
we
thing.
have it. Enjoy the fact that we have it now.
But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like sports. I played sports. I
Right.
played like 6 years of football.
Right.
I don't live for sports.
Yeah, I don't either.
In fact, I watch sometimes the Browns. I watch it, and then I go work. I watch the Steelers.
Yeah.
Still love the Steelers.
Yeah.
I like both cities. I've lived in
Right,
both. I love them
right,
both.
right.
And so I'll watch the Steelers. But it's like I don't go nuts about any of it because
Yeah.
I always go, man, I got to go do smart. I got things
I know.
to do.
There's a portion of our population here that really identifies their identity is somehow connected to that football team, and it's
shouldn't
unnerving. It shouldn't be.
No.
But you can't lecture it because they just don't change. But
Yeah.
there's a level of love for that football team that's generational in this town.
Oh, I know.
It's insane.
And
insane.
and it's like God, man, there were some badass Steeler teams, and you can't deny that. You go to the NFL, watch those NFL games, and they're like, was it Grisenda or whatever, the guy that the announcer, when Lambert smashes down, and he goes, "We cannot be intimidated."
And they were so small, though. You go back and look at the film on those guys. The guys were half the size they are today. It's like if you ever, I told my son this when he was probably 10, and he was so ingrained in watching those slow motion like NFL film things, the Steelers. I said, go back and watch the video of the game.
Yeah.
And compare that to what you're seeing now.
Yeah, there were some, even
it was
Lambert,
like watching a high school game now because they were just half the size.
They were little dudes, little quick dudes. But even the 17-0 Dolphins, they were like Nick Bonaconte.
Right. There's a
probably
name for you.
Probably my son, Nick Bonaconte.
Deacon Jones.
5'10",
Yeah.
a small linebacker.
Right.
Now it's like beasts.
Oh, it's insane now.
Yeah,
I mean, these teams today would run over those teams in a New York second.
Yeah.
Just the
Dude,
physical humanity.
Can you imagine that? Could you imagine the velocity? I can't even getting hit by one of those guys. Like, it's almost like if you take away pads and you're in the street and someone in a suit hits you, you'd be like, what the hell was that? What is it? What did that guy do? It's like, one guy was running. The guy tackled him. It's like, what?
Did you ever stay on the sideline for a game?
Have I been on the sidelines? Yeah. No, not NFL games. No.
I only did it one time, and I will tell you, and it was
violent.
The 90s, and it was so imagine how bigger they are now, but the late 90s. And I had Andre Hastings was a Steelers receiver. He was my client when I was selling pagers, and I got the tickets, and I'm there. And
you sold pagers?
Yeah, I was the pager guy. Yeah, and I actually my little story about that is Cower ended up getting really angry at the team for these pagers going off during a meeting.
Yeah. And
I was the guy selling them pagers.
The pager guy.
Yeah, I was the pager guy. I was forbidden. I wasn't allowed on the premise anymore.
Did you get to the point where you're like, hey, 3 pages for $10 a month, 4 pages?
Oh, they helped me out. They were the point where the players were trading us tickets and air. The point was, I saw Andre or Charles Johnson, one of those two players, got hit on a crossing route.
Yeah.
And I am somewhat like on the 30-yard line, but away from the. I'm not standing there with the linesman or anything. The sound of that hit, I will never forget.
And the grunt,
20-some years ago.
Really?
Man. I mean, if you don't piss blood after getting hit, but that freaking hard,
dude, it's not normal.
I mean, like it's the human body is not made to be catapulted like that.
It's held together. I had the pleasure, and that's a weird word to use in this, the pleasure of filming open heart surgeries and brain. I did, for a while there for UPMC, I did, shooting operations.
Right.
And to see the little heart in there and the veins and all that. And it's like, it just suspended in there, and anything, blunt trauma can knock things off.
Yeah, you would think.
And I know that happens. And later guys, they die early or they're, because your body cannot take that. Dude, I'm the guy that will in the middle of the night will like, I hit my head on a corner of something. I go, oh my God, and I played football back in the day, and I remember one time hitting helmet to helmet, and then then the next thing I remember is being on the sideline, kind of listening and talking, and I just couldn't remember stuff. Right. And you go, wow, concussion. Your brain's not just jerking around in there. So it's not a good, listen, if after they build the sex robots, Japanese people, if you're listening to this, build football teams. Because here's my prediction.
Then we can just bet on them.
Yeah. And here's my prediction, because this will probably be playing in 50 years, and this will go down. I'm predicting that NFL football will eventually be played entirely with robots. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
And with that, we will conclude, my friend.
Yes, that was it on a robot high note.
Thank you, buddy.
I wanted to tell you also.
See me, but how can they reach you?
Oh, they can reach me. I have a pager.
I got a few stuck in drawers in an old steel desk in my garage. If you want them, I can give them to you. I'll mail them to you.
Wasn't it the time when it's like, listen, page me and I'll call you back. Don't use my cell phone. page me. And I never understood that transition period. It's like, dude, why you call my cell phone? Page me and I'll call you back. Well, why? Just give me your cell number. No.
Well, because airtime was expensive.
That's
right?
what it was.
Yeah.
So you only called back who
Remember
you
payphones?
Yeah, I'll call. Here's the pager. I'll call you on the payphone.
Wait. My daughter goes to me. It must have been like 8 years ago. We're driving and we just came to a red light and she goes, Dad, there's like a glass thing over there with a telephone in it. And I go, what? Wow. What are you talking about? She's over there. It's like I said, oh, it's a payphone. She goes, well, why would someone go out there and use the phone?
Why would they get out of their car?
Why do you have to go outside and use the phone? Yeah. And it like totally no clue. Not a clue.
No. How would they?
Completely. I mean, we take so much for granted, right?
Well, and sadly, the way that people reach me is by payphone. I have a payphone
right outside of his studio.
Yeah, right on. It's on Superior in Cleveland. It's the only payphone in Cleveland. Call me between 3 and 6,
and let it ring.
Let it ring and ring and ring. And if it's, I might call you collect. And then it's like, will you accept this call? No. And then it's like, I know that you're okay. You know, it's like that. That was the old trick, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Where you go like, we accept this call from Tom. No. It's like, and then you know they're fine.
Yeah.
Wow, we played the system, guys. Well, listen, people can check my website, tommegales.com, or Tom Megals Facebook. Friend me if you want to. I'm on Instagrams at Tom Megals.
Instagrams, plural.
Yeah, I'm on the Instagrams. Also,
you on Twitter? You need Twitter?
I got to get the Twitter account. I got my Twitter going there. I got also on intranet, which is not an internet, but it's a closed system that's in my house. If you're anywhere around my house, it's tommegales.intranet.com// double accent Greek bastard. Just call me anytime right around the house. Also, just show up on my back porch. If you got a cat, I'll feed you and the cat tuna. Oh, Lord help
your
us.
Wife put up?
She doesn't. That's why I'm here, Eric. I didn't tell you. I got my luggage in the car. I hope you've got a back room.
I got a back room.
Yeah, and just TV dinners.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, man, it was a pleasure. And thanks for buying the art.
Oh, my gosh, yes. Can't wait to put it up. All right, buddy. Be safe. I'll drive back.
Man. Thanks, man. I'm driving back.
And then we'll do this again soon.
Yeah, man.
All right. We are out.